Hello. It's January 13th, 2024. Today's the day before my birthday, but before I get into talking about that, I woke up this morning and I got on my phone as per usual. It's hard to jump up right out of bed when you don't have anything to do per se. Um so I'm checking my phone and I'm on Snapchat and I see people's stories from while I was asleep. And one of my friends is currently on vacation somewhere. I don't know where exactly. But they were at a casino, and there's a he. They weren't in the right state of mind, but they were. I'm not passing any judgment here when I say this, but they were recording someone who was definitely very drunk, probably also really sleepy, and they were like half asleep sitting at the slot machines, and they were I want to put it lightly, but they were morbidly obese. That's not putting it lightly, but can't really skirt around that. And I just, the person clearly is drunk at a casino, morbidly obese. I don't know anything about this person whatsoever, but from what I know, I'm not a medical doctor, but from what I know, three things like this person's not doing the greatest physically. Um, they're probably close to death's door, if not really there already. You know what I mean? So it's just, you don't really think about it that often, but for some reason it hit me this morning. Forgive me, I'm going to do something that's not healthy for me, but you get these mini cans, and I guess it gives you what you need. But seeing that just serves as a reminder for how tender a life we really have here, like tender in the sense of how fleeting it is, tender in the sense of the decisions that we make, just how they compound, tender in the decisions we make affecting other people. I'm not sure if this person is dealing with things that are self inflicted or if they're consequences of just, a really tough life. I don't know anything about the person, like I said. But it just, we gotta be living life, to put it in the existentialist perspective, living a rebellious life. And it's hard to define what that really is, of course, but I think it's authentic as well, first and foremost. And that's when it becomes tricky, as I've discussed on this podcast. Excuse me. As I've discussed throughout these journals, it's tricky. There's a fine line in authenticity. Sure, it's not doing what society says. Right now society says it's probably best to go get your MBA and go into business school and get a job in that field, but not everyone wants to do that. So don't do it if you don't want to do it, if you're not going to enjoy that line of work. But at the same time, where do we fit in intuition? Where do we fit in things that aren't necessarily the best for us, like gambling, like drinking, like caffeine? Um, I don't know. If you have any thoughts, leave them down below. But that's probably all I'll say about that. It was just an interesting, thought I had this morning, and I wanted to speak on it a little bit. Uh, yeah, I'll stop with that. But today's been very simple. Like I said, I haven't had anything to do really. Really, the only stuff I have to do or had to do is go to the gym and content related things. Um, So I went to the gym with my friend, and then we got some food after. There's a new taco spot in town, and it was actually not pretty bad. It was pretty good actually, and we had a good time. And this is another part of authenticity that I'd like to discuss. It's like in terms of people telling me having fun for my birthday. Like one of my friends just was like, "I'm surprised you don't want to go out tonight. Go out to a bar or not." By the way, it's my 22nd birthday, so that is legal for me. Um, but they're like that's surprising. You don't want to go out. And I'm actually surprised that they said it was surprising for them. I'm never the type of person that wants to go out really. I don't have to be dragged out. I'll go, but once in a blue moon, it's just I'd rather do it from a house where, no driving, no money, that sort of thing. But yeah, like the gym and the lunch with my friend was kind of enough fun for me today. Like I'm gonna go to my girlfriend's house later and probably watch some movies and maybe get dinner. But that's enough for me. I don't know. A few of my friends are also back to college now, so it's like all of us getting together. It's on the table, but we're so interconnected that it's like it really just feels like well, when we get together, not all of us. There's only like 50% of us. It just feels less. I don't know how to describe it. I hope you know what I mean. But yeah, so there's like outside forces pulling me elsewhere. At first, I was gonna go to a golf simulator where you can get food and drink, but they were booked. And so like once they were booked, I was like, you know what? Doing things tonight kind of just doesn't sound super fun. Um, I don't know. I don't know. So once again, I have to ask the question: how do you follow your heart? I've titled one of the journals this exact thing, and I try to dig in, and it's like this is what I've been saying. Fun doesn't sound super fun to me tonight. I'd rather just relax. I'd rather, because I also work in the morning, and I know probably shouldn't be overly concerned with that. It's not like I have to be up super early tomorrow morning, but I don't know. All of this stuff has kind of got me in a weird, strange mood. I I don't know. I want to live authentically, right? I obviously me worrying about authenticity probably means I'm not being super authentic, but I'm rambling. I am tired, which is why I'm doing this. I have caffeine in the morning, and I try not to have some for the rest of the day, but a few times a week I'll have to have, one of these mini Coca Colas. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. I'm living authentically. It's got me in a weird mood. The outside forces pulling me elsewhere. And, I know my friends are trying to think of me, and I appreciate that sentiment. But I don't know. I guess a lot of this also stems down to the fact that I have trouble saying no. This is a problem I've had for a lot of my life. And I've gotten better at it, but I still struggle with it. I just feel like when I say no to people, it's almost like my standing goes down with them. It's not even that I'm worried about, it's not a FOMO thing per se. Um, I'm worried about how they think of me. And I shouldn't worry about how people think of me when I tell them no. Like the friend that I got lunch with today is way more understanding of this than others. I'll say this much. And this is why I've only gotten closer with this friend as time has moved on. I would consider them my best friend now, and it wasn't always that way. In fact, we used to not like really like each other. We were just friends through association, mutual friends, and we would see each other. But now it's like we're on the same page about a lot of things, and they understand me saying no as well. They're like, it's your birthday, so be selfish. It's like the one time you can justify being selfish. It's like, I see where you're coming from. I don't know if I agree, but I see where you're coming from. Yeah. I don't know. Can you tell this has got me in a weird mood? I kind of hope so. I kind of hope it's not just me. I think that's about where I'll leave it for today. I'll let y'all know later tonight, whatever happens. I'll try to at least. And, oh wow. I haven't flipped my New York Times calendar in a while. It's been a few days. So, January 12th, American League to let pitcher have a pinch hitter and stay in. 1973 that happened. I'm not too interested with that. But today, strike riots close Big Lawrence Mills. Women went on strike and riots broke out at the mills of the American Woolen Company in Lawrence, Massachusetts in response to wage cuts. The strike went on to become one of the most famous in United States labor history. On February 19th, Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts announced her presidential bid at the site of the protests. She argued the American economy is still stacked against the middle class. Like the women of Lawrence, we are here to say enough is enough. Well, that's pretty cool. That happened 112 years ago today. And then on this panel, it actually shows me tomorrow's, but I'll try not to look at that yet. No, that's really cool. I didn't even know about one of the most famous strikes in U.S. history. I like labor strikes. That is a perfect way to end it. I hope y'all are having a good Saturday.